Monday AI agents took over my work. And I absolutely love it. Chasing deadlines, writing status reports, updating stakeholders. Agents handle the daily grind now. They live inside Monday.com, so they see the full picture. My work, my team, the whole company. And I don't have to worry about the data. It's safe, which means I'm free to focus on the big stuff, knowing everything runs smoothly in the background. It's completely shifted the way we work. Create your own AI agent in minutes on Monday.com.
This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, July 27th, 2026. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. The White House paused strikes on Iranian targets over the weekend to create space for diplomatic efforts, even as the U.S. maintains its blockade on Iranian ports. Mike Glenn reports U.S. Central Command said forces targeted Iranian military command centers, drone storage facilities, communication networks, and naval capabilities. Iran has held off retaliatory attacks around the Middle East since the pause began. Concerns about dwindling stockpiles of munitions also factored into President Trump's decision to hold off on plans for further escalation, according to the New York Times. The president still maintains support, albeit tepid for the war, on Capitol Hill. Lindsay McPherson reports both the House and Senate passed war powers resolutions last month, each directing Trump to end the war. The Senate, however, reversed course on a follow-up resolution the next day after Trump criticized the vote. Senators said the administration needs congressional approval for the war because the conflict is long past a 60-day deadline set by the War Powers Act to obtain authorization for use of military force. The most recent effort in the House passed by a 214 to 208 vote with the support of 4 Republicans. President Trump's anti-weaponization fund has become the chief obstacle to Todd Blanche's confirmation as Attorney General, with key Republicans saying they can't let him be approved until the idea is fully eliminated. Blanche has told lawmakers the fund is dead and he won't release any of the money, but Stephen Dinan reports senators say the language of the deal, which Blanche signed off on as acting Attorney General, could leave wiggle room for the president to ask a court to enforce it. One of those Republicans, North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis, said he would hold up any action until Blanche renegotiates the settlement to make clear the fund is dead, or Congress passes legislation to firmly nullify it. Prominent Democrats say New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has secured her spot as an ideological leader of the party after a New Hampshire poll showed her as a presidential frontrunner for 2028. George Caldwell reports a University of New Hampshire poll last week showed Ocasio-Cortez leading with 22% support in the state, just ahead of former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg at 21%. Arizona Democratic Senator Mark Kelly placed third with 9%. When asked about the polling, Ocasio-Cortez avoided committing to a presidential run. Still, the polling raises the question of whether she would have a chance as a national candidate. And finally, the Department of Housing and Urban Development is investigating complaints that race-based student dormitories at 2 universities violate federal anti-discrimination laws. Sean Salai reports 2 complaints filed this month accuse the University of Minnesota and University of Connecticut of practicing de facto segregation by grouping Black and Hispanic students into separate dorms. The nonprofit Equal Protection Project argues in the complaints that the practice violates the Fair Housing Act by illegally steering others away from those dorms. If HUD finds that the universities have violated fair housing laws, it could fine them and withhold federal funding. Both universities have denied any wrongdoing and pledged to cooperate. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.